I never intended for any of this to happen. It started so innocently, with whispers, just whispers that lingered in my mind. My name is Alex, and for years I carried a secret that has haunted me like a shadow. It began 3 years ago when I moved into a small town, desperate for a fresh start after a particularly messy breakup. The tight-knit community seemed welcoming enough, with friendly faces everywhere I turned. But there was something off. The town had its quirks: old houses with peeling paint, overgrown gardens where no one dared to tread, and an odd silence that seemed to settle over the streets at dusk. I remember my first night there. I was unpacking boxes in my new apartment when I heard it, a soft, barely audible whisper. I thought I was just tired, but as I lay in bed that night, I heard it again, a faint, chilling call drifting through the cracks of the old wooden walls. Alex. Alex. I brushed it off as my imagination, but the whispers became a nightly occurrence, creeping into my dreams like a dark fog. Weeks passed, and I tried to ignore them, but the whispers grew louder, more insistent. I started to notice other things too. One night, I saw an old woman staring at me from across the street, her eyes dark and vacant. When I blinked, she vanished. My friends assured me it was just my mind playing tricks, but deep down, I knew something was wrong. I had to find out what was happening. I began to dig into the history of the town, visiting the local library and uncovering old newspapers. That's when I stumbled upon the story of a young girl who had gone missing decades ago. Her name was Emily. The police never found her, and the town had seemingly moved on, but they all whispered her name with a kind of reverence mixed with dread. They said her spirit roamed the streets, searching for something she could never find. The more I read, the more convinced I became that Emily's spirit was somehow connected to the whispers I heard. I decided to confront it. One night, armed with a flashlight and a notebook, I ventured into the woods where she was last seen. The trees loomed overhead like sentinels, and as I walked deeper into the darkness, I felt an overwhelming chill. I called out, "Emily? Are you there?" At first, nothing. Then, just as I was about to turn back, the whispers returned, clearer this time, "Help me, Alex." My heart raced. I had to sit down to collect myself. I didn't want to believe it, but I felt an undeniable,